Hey, welcome back to the FuturePrint TV sessions at the Imprint Show and CCE. I'm joined by Mr. Aliasgar Eranpurwala, who is the head of Inkjet at Seiko Instruments. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Marcus.
Great to have you here. We've not really met before had much of a conversation, and I'm keen to kind of get a bit of an understanding of Seiko's a famous name, and I know you're yourself, you're quite famous in Inkjet, I've heard, but I'll just tell us a bit about your background and also what Seiko do.
So my name's Aliasgar Eranpurwala, as you rightly said, but I go in the market as Ali. Everyone calls me as Ali, so you can do that as well, okay. Marcus. So Seiko, as you rightly said, is a very famous name, but everyone knows us from watches.
Yeah, I remember the digital watch back in the day, yeah.
Exactly, and Seiko means minute, so that's where the analog watches and digital watches, a lot of different technologies came up from. And as a company, we're almost 140 years old, and we started branching out in like 1950s and started doing different things. So we made machines to make those watches. Then we said, okay, we can make, it was a very interesting story actually, where we said, we have the Olympics, and yeah. We did the timing for the Olympics.
Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah, it was at that time when we did the first timing for all the Olympic Games. What we did differently, what happened in those Olympics was we could time it well, but when people started making notes and giving those times ahead, they made mistakes. And there was a request, could you time it and also print it? And that's where the printing came onto the timing part. And we moved into thermal inkjet, or not thermal inkjet, but thermal printing at one point. And later when the inkjet picked up, we moved into the inkjet printhead business. It was about 2001 when we started making the first printheads. We launched the first industrial printhead in 2002. We had taken a license from Zara at that point of time and created our own printhead. Then in 2008, we moved on to making our own patents with isolated channel technologies and multiple of different inks that we could print. And recently we're working with the RC 1536, which is with recirculation technology. It is working all types of inks. It can be UV, water-based, solvent, oil, anything you want to print. It's the same printhead. You can use it for whatever you want. So that's where things have moved. And as a business, we have two business units. So, you could say we've divided the business into two in the world. So we have Japan directly taking care of the business in the States, in America, and in South America as well, and Japan internally as well. And they also take care of China. So everything is handled by Japan. And the rest of the world is kind of handled by the European office, which I'm taking care of.
So in terms, obviously originally a Japanese company, still a Japanese company, but how do you sort of see the world in terms of industrial inkjet, and where are the sort of most active markets in terms of its use?
We've seen that these inkjet projects are more or less developed in Europe, and that's why your presence in Europe is important for us. But to take it forward, economies of scale, so when smaller projects, when the projects don't need so many, it's not, the number of machines are not that big, then they stay in Europe. But at one point of time when it becomes price competitive and things like that, then these projects tend to move to China.
Yeah.
And those are the two places where we are normally seeing the market, but the growth is completely different. It's more technology-based, and here it's more numbers-based.
Yeah. And obviously here you taking part in the sessions, presenting and so on, and you just took part in a panel of 5 steps. Your focus in that discussion was very much collaboration, and the panel where you'd all collaborated together. Tell us a bit about that project and how it worked.
What we found out when we were trying to expand our market or go out of the markets that we are strong in. So we are strong in ceramics. We've been strong in ceramics for the last, I think, about 6-7 years now. And when we tried to go out of it, we found out that there is a lot of knowledge that's failing. We don't have that knowledge by ourselves, but we know experts who have that knowledge. So we can go to an ink manufacturer and we can ask him, hey, do you have this kind of know-how, how would we probably be able to get this project from an idea phase to a phase where everything would work like the customer wants it. And that's where we went ahead and asked an ink manufacturer. And the same thing happened with the curing, the curing systems, because we know the printhead very well. We know how the printhead can work, what the printhead can do, etc. But around it is the knowledge that we don't have. And we see that a collaborative effort to bring a project from an idea to a reality is very important.
With that in mind, have you got any sort of products that you're this year are new to you, or that you will be looking to bring out at some point that you can maybe has some new performance attributes?
Something what I can say what happened in the last year actually after the collaboration actually started. So we created a knowledge exchange center in Frankfurt, which is like the heart of Europe right now. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to bring different people together.
Yeah.
We're trying to bring not only the customers on board here, but also asking these different peripheral manufacturers like ink systems, electronics, inks, curing systems. Everybody come on board and show your what you can do, and then we can pick and choose and see, okay, for this project, this will work the best. And last year, we did a number of these collaborative projects. One of them was printing matte varnish, which the ink manufacturer was like, hey, I can make a matte varnish, but can you print it? I don't know if you can print it. Would you like to try it? We're like, hey, send it over. We have a lab. We will test it for you. We did also a water-based varnish, which is also completely different. I mean, it was not done before because the binder content is so high that it's very difficult to keep it stable in the printhead. We said we have a recirculation technology. We can give it a go. Send it across. We'll try it. We did it. It worked. So, there were things or questions that were open just within us as Inkjet component suppliers, and we made it work as a collaborative effort. And now when a customer comes across to us, we can say, oh, you want to do that? We've already done the research for you. Take that's an entire package, and now you can go ahead and sell your entire system.
So it's removing a lot of the work, pre-work, because you're able to do it. And I guess that's a big investment for you, but so a customer or a new customer contacts you, and that's something you're keen to help them with, the journey for Inkjet, is it? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, reducing the time from lab or a laboratory to a fabrication stage, so from lab to fab, reducing that time and making sure that the ROIs are reduced. I mean, you get your return on investment much faster. That's what we are looking at. So we do that pre-investment, as you rightly said. I mean, and we also encourage our peripheral suppliers, like the ink manufacturers, etc., to also help us with that. So it's a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
But we have a space now. We started this activity in 2017, but in 2019 that space was too less for us. So we got a new place which is 4 times bigger. So we have a 4 times bigger laboratory now. We have many more discussion rooms, many office spaces now, and that's the kind of investment which it was a vision from our managing director, the managing director based in Frankfurt, Mr. Kuhn, and he said, that this kind of a corona situation is, it's a phase where you could probably, just stay back and say, okay, when things get better, then we will start working, or we take the time and we prepare ourselves so that when the doors open, we are ready to go forward. Yeah. And I completely agree with him. And we use that two years of time to prepare ourselves, to build a solid team, to build that know-how within our company. And now we are ready to take up new projects.
Yeah, and how are you finding the market? And obviously at a show, you've met people, it's been quite a good event for you, and is the market in a good place?
In this event, what we have found out is, it was very good to meet existing clients as well, because 2 years of not meeting clients was a very big gap. So we couldn't meet existing clients. That was a very big plus with this show. We also have some clients who had started working with us in 2019, but they really could not go forward because they could not come out of their own office and speak to other people and find out, hey, I have this issue, can you help me solve it? I have this issue, can you help me solve it? And they were not able to do that. So now they are actually coming up and telling us, okay, we started the project, but we never brought it to completion. Can we start it? And I'm very happy to see those clients coming up and I'm happy that in those 2 years we haven't lost them. So
Yeah, it's been a challenging time, but you've adapted and invested, and now you're ready and rolling and maximising the opportunity that this event has given. So thanks for joining us, Ali.
Thank you so much, Marcus.
Yeah, I look forward to catching up with you again in the future. Have a fantastic year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much.